From its earliest experiments to the emergence of commercial broadcasting, television has had an immense impact on society and culture, shaping our collective understanding of the world around us. Through this episode, we'll uncover the fascinating story of how television came to be, the technological innovations that have transformed the medium, and its influence on society and popular culture. Whether you're a television buff or simply interested in the history of technology, you won't want to miss this episode. So sit back, relax, and join us as we take a journey through the history behind television. And before we begin, let us know what your favorite television show is in the comments below. The story of television begins in the late 1800s and early 1900s with the work of inventors like Paul Nipkow. Paul Nipkow was born on August 22, 1860 in Lauenburg, a town in the Prussian province of Pomerania, which is now part of Poland. He was a German engineer and inventor who was credited with developing the first mechanical television scanning system. In 1884, Nipkow invented the Nipkow Disk, which was a spinning disk with a series of holes arranged in a spiral pattern. This disk could scan an image line by line, allowing for the transmission of moving images over a wire. This invention laid the foundation for the development of television technology, and his scanning system was later improved upon by other inventors, leading to the creation of electronic television. But it wasn't until the 1920s and 1930s that the television really began to take shape. In 1927, Philo Farnsworth, an American inventor, demonstrated the first electronic television system. Born on August 19, 1906 in Beaver, Utah, Farnsworth grew up on a farm and developed an interest in science at a young age. As a teenager, he became fascinated with the idea of transmitting images electronically, and he began to work on a system that would eventually become the basis for modern television. In 1927, Farnsworth succeeded in transmitting the first television image using an electronic scanning system that he had developed. This was a major breakthrough in the development of television technology, and it paved the way for the creation of electronic television sets that we still use today. The first television broadcasts were also made in the 1920s and 1930s. In 1928, WRGB in Schenectady, New York became the first television station to broadcast regularly scheduled programs. The station's first broadcast was a variety show featuring music, comedy, and news. Other television stations soon followed, and by the end of the 1930s, television was becoming more popular. The 1939 World's Fair in New York City featured a television exhibit that attracted thousands of visitors. People were fascinated by the idea of being able to see and hear events from far away in real time. In the 1940s and 1950s, television began to take off as a mainstream medium, and television networks emerged as a dominant force in the industry. The three major networks at the time were NBC, CBS, and ABC, and they played a major role in shaping the development of television programming. NBC was the first network to establish a coast-to-coast television broadcast, and they quickly became the dominant force in the industry. They had the most popular shows of the time, including The Tonight Show, The Today Show, and The Ed Sullivan Show. NBC's success paved the way for the rise of other networks. CBS emerged as NBC's main competition in the 1950s. They were the first network to broadcast in color and had some of the most popular shows of the time, including I Love Lucy and The Twilight Zone. CBS also established itself as a leader in news programming, with shows like 60 Minutes and Face the Nation. ABC was the third major network to emerge in the 1950s. They initially struggled to compete with NBC and CBS, but eventually found success with shows like The Mickey Mouse Club and The Jetsons. ABC also became known for its sports programming, including Monday Night Football. The rise of these television networks had a major impact on the development of television programming, and they had resources to produce high-quality shows and to invest in new technology like color television. They also established the format of the television schedule, with primetime programming in the evenings and news programming in the morning and evenings. Overall, the emergence of television networks like NBC, CBS, and ABC marked a turning point in the history of television. They helped shape the medium into what it is today, with a wide range of programming that appeals to audiences of all ages and interests. The 1950s and 1960s are often referred to as the golden age of television. During this period, television was at its peak in terms of artistic and cultural significance. It was a time when classic TV shows like I Love Lucy, The Twilight Zone, and The Andy Griffith Show emerged and captured the hearts of audiences around the world. I Love Lucy was a groundbreaking show that aired from 1951 to 1957. It starred Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz and was the first show to be filmed in front of a live audience. It also introduced the three-camera shooting technique. The show's blend of physical comedy and heartfelt moments made it a hit with audiences and established it as a classic of the era. The Twilight Zone, which aired from 1959 to 1964, was a sci-fi anthology series that explored the darker side of human nature. The show's creator, Rod Serling, wrote many of the episodes himself, and the show tackled issues like war, prejudice, and censorship. This science fiction anthology series pushed the boundaries of storytelling on television by exploring themes of morality, social issues, and the human condition. The show's unique storytelling style and iconic theme song made it a cultural touchstone. The Andy Griffith Show, which aired from 1960 to 1968, was a lighthearted sitcom set in a small town in North Carolina. It starred Andy Griffith as a small-town sheriff and featured a cast of memorable characters like Deputy Barney Fife and Aunt Bee. The show's wholesome humor and sense of community made it a favorite of audiences for years to come. Since its inception, television technology has undergone significant changes, with the introduction of color TV, cable TV, and the transition to digital broadcasting. These innovations have transformed the way we watch TV and have a significant impact on the television industry. Color TV was introduced in the 1950s, and it revolutionized the television industry. It allowed for more vibrant and realistic images, and it made TV viewing a more immersive experience. The first color TV sets were expensive, but they quickly became more affordable, and by the 1960s, color TV had become the norm. Cable TV was introduced in the 1970s and allowed viewers to access a wider range of programming. With cable TV, viewers could watch shows and movies from around the world, and they had access to more channels than ever before. Cable TV also allowed for the development of niche channels, which catered to specific interests like sports, news, and music. The transition to digital broadcasting began in the late 1990s and early 2000s, and it represented a significant shift in the television industry. Digital broadcasting allowed for a clearer and more consistent signal, and it paved the way for high-definition televisions. It also made it possible for broadcasters to offer multiple channels and interactive features. Today, we are seeing a new wave of technological innovations in the television industry. Streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime have become increasingly popular, offering viewers access to a vast library of TV shows and movies. Smart TVs have also become more prevalent, allowing viewers to access streaming service directly from their TV sets. Television has come a long way since its early days, and in the 21st century, it's undergone a significant transformation. With the rise of streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime, the way we watch and consume television has changed dramatically. Today, viewers have access to a vast library of TV shows and movies through streaming services. These services offer a range of original programming, including dramas, comedies, and documentaries. They've also given rise to a new wave of binge-watching culture, where viewers can watch entire seasons of shows in one sitting. The popularity of streaming services has had a significant impact on the traditional television industry. Broadcasters and cable networks are now competing with streaming services for viewerships, and many have adopted to the changing landscapes by offering their own streaming platforms. Streaming services has also allowed for the development of niche programming, catering to specific audiences and interests. This has given rise to a new generation of shows and creators who are pushing the boundaries of what television can be. However, the rise of streaming services has also led to concerns about the future of traditional television. Some worry that the fragmentation of the industry will lead to a decline in quality programming, while others believe that the proliferation of streaming services will ultimately benefit consumers. One of the reasons that television has had such a lasting impact on our society is its cultural relevance. Television has been a major cultural force throughout its history, and certain shows have had an especially significant impact on our society. Along with the previously mentioned I Love Lucy, Twilight Zone, and The Andy Griffith Show, television programming has evolved just as much as the display technology. When All in the Family premiered in 1971, it was considered groundbreaking for its frank portrayal of working-class life and its willingness to tackle controversial subjects like racism, sexism, and homophobia. The show's main character, Archie Bunker, became a cultural icon, and the show helped shape the way we think about television comedy. Since its debut in 1989, The Simpsons has become one of the most beloved and influential shows in television history. Its satirical take on American life has resonated with viewers of all ages, and the show has been credited with changing the way we think about animation and primetime television. It also pioneered the use of meta-humor, intertextuality, and celebrity cameos on TV. The Sopranos, which aired from 1999 to 2007, was a groundbreaking show that helped us to usher in a new age of prestige television. Its complex characters, rich storytelling, and exploration of themes like morality, family, and power have made it one of the most critically acclaimed shows of all time. The Office, which premiered in 2005, was a pioneering show in the mockumentary genre. Its unique format and deadpan humor have influenced countless shows that followed, and its portrayal of office life has become a cultural touchstone for a generation of viewers. These shows have had a profound influence on our culture, and their impact will continue to be felt for many years to come. They have helped shape the way we think about television, and they have given us some of the most memorable characters and moments in TV history. The history of television is a fascinating journey that spans over a century of technological innovation, artistic and cultural significance, and social impact. From the early experiments with television to the golden age of television, and now to the age of streaming services, television has continued to evolve and adapt to the changing times. Through it all, television has remained an important and influential medium, shaping our perceptions of the world and bringing people together through shared experiences. Whether it's the classic TV shows of the past or new and exciting programming of the present, television has a unique power to entertain, inform, and inspire. As we look to the future, it's clear that television will continue to be a vital part of our lives, and we can only imagine what new and innovative forms it will take in the years to come. But one thing is for sure, the history of television is a rich and fascinating story that will continue to captivate and inspire audiences for generations to come. We hope you have enjoyed this episode of A Short History Behind the Television. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified of our next video. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep learning about the world.